What's that?
What's that?
What day is it? Let me guess. Got any ideas? Could it be the 4th?
Yes. The local real estate agents gift our neighborhood with these flags. You can see it's got the dirt. They come and they stick them in everyone's yard.
I think we need to do it here. Feeling very American. Woohoo! Welcome to all of you, no matter where you are in the world. Right here, right now, it's Independence Day, and we're going to declare some independence from old limiting beliefs and old stories and the nonsense in the mind.
And what we're going to talk about today isn't just for people in the USA.
That's right.
We're not going to talk about the United States independence from England, which that's where he's from, right?
Good Lord! I'm from the old blighty, and I need to declare independence from my past. I do like this in London.
We're going to talk about declaring our independence. Like, what happened? There was a revolt. There was a
uprising.
Climb. There was a fight. We had to know, right? Back in 1776, the people in those 13 colonies, they had to know. I'm going to go ahead and turn this.
Hello, Ron. Welcome to the show.
They had to know what they didn't want.
Hi, Joe.
Right? That's what was in the Declaration of Independence. It's all the reasons that they wanted to declare their independence.
It was a list of complaints.
It was a list.
We are against this and this and this and this.
Right. And that's so important because if you don't know what you don't want,
that's hard
sometimes
to know.
It's hard to know what you do want.
That's
I know.
right.
I'm so like that. Welcome to the Trisbrina Show.
Welcome. Yeah, this is episode 5 plus 5.
Wow.
Yeah, do the math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to get hard from here.
Math is hard. Hi, Linda.
Sometimes
Linda's here.
Hi.
Yeah, you're Linda. Our Linda. My Linda. And Wendy. Sorry, not to interrupt you. I just want to say hi to Rita. And Dee Terrell is in the house.
Aw.
And Devin. Awesome. Joe is here. Hi, Ann.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, we got people all over the globe. Hi, Carol. Come on in, Marjorie, and the whole gang. Wendy is here.
And if you're watching this on replay, welcome.
Welcome. Exactly.
I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I can make sure we stay in.
Episode number 10, Trisbrina Show. We are in a flow. It's been a beautiful journey so far, and we just want to thank all of you for making this fun for us. We talk about Thursdays. We look forward to Thursdays. Obviously, date night for us. We're going to go somewhere fun later.
I can't get it. Like, a lot of times I would try to get out of it because my personality says, oh, wouldn't it be
Not
fun
anymore.
just to stay home and not put on any makeup and just
no, now there's a reason.
Eat snacks on the couch and watch TV
snacks and playing
like the other 6 nights. But nope, now on Thursdays I must
leave. It's date night for all of us.
Right.
You don't have to go anywhere. We can have a date right here, right now. If you have a favorite beverage that you're drinking, let us know in the chat what you're slurping on. We have no beverages tonight.
Mm-mm.
No, nothing for us. So you have to have drinky poo for us.
We're declaring our independence from
no,
beverages.
I'm not.
Just for 30 minutes.
Okay, fine. All right, so yes, let's dig in the topic of freedom. Do it.
So we just had incredible conversations today about freedom from.
Yes.
Right? Because most of the time we really try to make the focus, as we always talk about, in the positive. What are we for? Mm-hmm. What do we love? Because whatever we focus on, it seems to expand. But this seemed like a really good day to think about freedom from. And I wrote a little list. I said freedom from the old ways, my old ways. Now, what would that be? My old ways would be someone growing up told me their views of politics and I didn't even pause to think, is that what I feel? Or maybe I grew up in a certain church and think that I have those same beliefs, but I never really stopped to think about it. Like freedom from the old ways and choosing the new ways. And freedom from, this is a really big one, other people's opinion, other people's ideas of who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to think.
True that.
Freedom from self-imposed judgments on myself. Right? I think that's harder than other people's opinions.
Yeah,
right?
Well, especially when we have a strong mind, right? Opinionated minds.
Freedom from getting caught up in what we see on the media. freedom from getting caught up in other people's drama, right? Not my circus, not my monkey. Freedom from all of that. But freedom from, and then what does that do is it gives you authentic freedom. It gives you the freedom to really be that soul inside of you and the freedom to be in your heart.
Beautiful. For me, freedom from old stories, old limiting beliefs like you're talking about, ideas of who I think I am, definitely programs that I picked up along the way. And you're right, they get in at a subconscious layer. They fly under the conscious radar, and they're just ways of thinking and being that we don't even realize that we're in those looping thoughts or those old stories that don't serve us. So I am definitely wanting to increase my awareness around what I want more of, which I know we'll move into freedom for. Yeah. I think it's interesting, the Declaration of Independence, it was truly written as a list of the things that people were against. The colonists were against these rules, these oppressive ways of being, and they wanted to create a new life and a new way. And that's what we all want. So I think this is a significant day when we really talk about independence. What are we wanting to move into? So
and move past the complaints. You know, it was 1776, and since you weren't even in the country, and
I moved here in 1976 on the bicentennial year. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Well, I was just going to say that I have such vivid memories, and I'd love to know if you guys that are listening live in the chat, do you remember what a big deal the bicentennial year was? Those of you who are old enough.
I remember.
It was Little House on the Prairie was really popular on TV, Laura Ingalls Wilder. And so my mom, she bought, I think it was a Butterick pattern that you guys used to sew. You know, you had the Butterick, the McCalls, or the Simplicity pattern books. And it was for a dress from 1776. It was actually a skirt and a top. And she made us matching costumes with the bonnets. You know, you had the sleeping version and then you had the day bonnet. And I was in the bicentennial parade.
I can see you in that. Can you picture her? Like you probably had the biggest grin from ear to ear. Did you just say your mom made the outfit?
We had matching, me and her.
Aw, Rita.
And they're actually at her house here in Austin. Maybe next week I'll get it and I'll show it. Like mine's like teeny tiny. It looks like it fit a doll.
I just want to let you know that our friends here, they're having glasses of Pinot.
Who is?
Bonnie.
Good for you, Bonnie.
Susan's having a Chardonnay.
Hey.
And Devin's having a ginger lemon iced tea. Sounds delicious, y'all. All right, so what are we moving into? So that's when we come... They moved from the Declaration into what was created.
Well, a few years later was the Constitution.
Right.
Right, and I love the way you said it. You said that was like the how.
You're moving from what the big new why is. We believe this. We want this. We stand, flag in the ground, for this. Right. And now we're going to lay out what those principles and those beliefs are in, I want to always say the commandments. The Constitution. What are you made of? That's like that word, your Constitution.
Yeah.
What are we made of?
Yeah. What do we stand for? What do you stand for? And you can call it your personal principles, your personal value system. And I think that when you're really trying to think about what you stand for, what you really stand for, it's almost like what you've become. It's what you do and what you say and what you think. It isn't just an idea. And it may be so ingrained in you, in mind, body, and spirit, that you don't even realize that it was ever a choice. So my Constitution, one of the things that I'm for, well, first, like psychologically, I guess, is that I'm for not comparing myself to others. Because I learned how painful that is. Yeah. And then by not having comparison, I can celebrate everyone else. Right? So if I see a woman that has a trait that's really beautiful, I can celebrate that instead of looking at how she has it and I don't. Right? So that's big. I really said I'm going to put that as part of my Constitution because I don't want to be petty. I want to celebrate everyone.
So you've moved from judgment to compassion. There were old ideas.
Celebration, really.
And celebrating.
You mean compassion to myself?
Yes.
I mean, I see a woman that has like amazing arms and Now I'm like, you go.
Yeah.
You
So you are
go.
celebrating
You inspire
other
me.
people's victory,
Mm-hmm.
but you have moved from a place of like maybe a compressive thought.
Yeah, like, oh, her arms look better than mine. I don't
But I
want to
was talking
stand
about
next to her.
ourselves. I mean, it definitely requires a lubricant of compassion
Yeah.
to start moving into what we want to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely seen that for me anyway.
Another one of mine, of ours, that we're hard on ourselves, but sometimes in a good way. Like
I like to be hard on
we
myself.
we strive
feels
for as good as we could possibly be. So we have to have it as part of our constitution that we celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
And we take time to notice the little ones, not just like, yay, that was good, but really the particulars. Like, what was great about that part of that? What are the 5 things that were great? And take time to celebrate and see the good rather than just move on to the next thing.
I think we should all start really sharing what we stand for. What are some principles or values that when you put your flag in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
I believe this, I stand for this. I'll
choose.
share a couple of mine. And
Mm-hmm.
just to segue off of when I say I like being hard on myself, I don't mean I like beating myself up.
Right.
I like holding myself to a higher standard. I like the path of discipline and commitment. That's maybe my old martial art process. But it always has to make you feel good. If you're going to be strong with yourself, then make sure it is a energy that lights you up and makes you feel happy. If it's a stern, kind of hardcore energy,
Right.
and it makes you feel bad about yourself if you slip or, then don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like going to the gym and working out hard. People say, oh, I don't like to work out hard. I love to work out hard. I came home yesterday and I celebrated my sweaty shirt. I said, you got to touch this.
You made me notice it.
It was so wet through and through. People were looking at me in the gym like, what is this guy doing? What's going on? I was thriving.
Yeah.
So I stand for love-based discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I stand for dedication. I stand for all in, right? But there's another quality that's really strong for me, and I want to know what yours are too. Okay, so we're going to read yours out in a moment. Mine is loyalty. I choose, love,
mm-hmm.
desire great loyalty in my relationships and my friendships.
Yeah.
That's one of my most important values. Now, what's the opposite of that? What would I have declared independence from?
Mm-hmm.
Lies, betrayal. Somebody who says one thing and does another, right? I don't judge that anymore. I lean away from it, and I lean towards people who are honorable, people who are noble, people who have great integrity.
Yeah, we always talk. That's like a really common thing for us. Both of us are like, no lies, like completely honest. Because there's this little sneaky way of not telling the truth where you just don't tell a fib, but by not giving the information, it's kind of dishonest because there's a sneakiness to it. So I tell you, the best thing in a relationship, I think, is there are just no secrets. Be an open book. This is what I think. This is what I feel. You can have the passwords to all my texts, all my emails. Like, there's no secrets in that. I didn't used to be like that.
There's a lot of loves coming through.
Choosing love.
You guys must be resonating with this. I'm going to share maybe a couple on the screen in a moment as we come through.
I choose every morning when I wake up. One of my parts of my constitution is gratitude. And so when you choose what you stand for, you find a way to have it in your life, right? Like I choose to move every day. I stand for that. It's part of who I am. If somebody said, tell me 10 things about Sabrina, most people who know me would say she moves every day. She moves her body every day. So then you find ways to do that, right? Another huge one for me is I choose to be in environments with people who lift me up. Virtually, like right now, and in our online dojo, working with love-based business clients, and even friends. Like, I choose to be around people who also want to focus on their constitution is similar. It's uncomfortable sometimes when, maybe you meet someone and you think, oh, we're going to be friends. And then you start talking and it's like, oh wow, they stand for totally different things than I do, and it just doesn't really work like that.
There's some great stuff coming through.
Yeah.
Joe says loyalty, gratitude, and kindness. This is nice. Carol
like
stands for
kindness.
helping others. We really, really resonate with that as well.
Yep.
These are beautiful, y'all. Thank you.
Yep.
So,
I got a couple more.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I choose to live a life worth living.
Yes. What
Right?
does that mean for you?
I choose to know that every day matters and that every day is a gift. Every day is a gift. And every moment is a gift. And there's a perfect thing to say in every moment, or there's a perfect thing not to say in every moment, and there's a perfect action to take. So when I choose to live a life that I love, I have to be in love, right? And also freedom. What do we say? Do, be, do.
Do.
That's in the Constitution. Do love, be love. Do love, be love. Not just sit on the pillow like we used to do and meditate all day long, and not to run around like a busy beaver
We still own. No.
without connecting. Is that perfect blend. It's right where the being and the doing happen simultaneously.
Yeah.
We have a long Constitution.
Well, now there's something really cool that happens as we evolve, as we refine our clarity. How do we get more clear? How do you get more clear?
Frozen?
Through life's feedback. It's happening a little bit today. Life gives us feedback, and then we make refinements. And guess what? We can amend our Constitution. Right?
Yeah.
So we might make some amendments
those
to our
forefathers
beliefs.
really set out our spiritual awakening for us.
That's right.
Declare your independence,
Well,
write your Constitution, and then as you upgrade, put amendments on there.
There you go. Well, as you look at the evolution of things, you realize that it is the path of personal and spiritual growth, isn't it? We're saying, there's this new why being birthed within me. I want to move away from this compression and this oppression, and I want to evolve and elevate into a higher standard of living, right? So that's that declaration phase. And we all need to choose that why that makes us cry, that beautiful, beautiful spiritual guidance.
Yep.
And then we shape that guidance with conscious mind into the tenets of our life, be it a constitution or value system, whatever it is, a path that we can follow and things that keep us on track. I mean, the Constitution is like the law of the land, right? It's basically, here are the rules. Let's follow these rules. But the rules get elevated. They evolve because we evolve. So that's why it's important to make amendments. And that's why we should look at them as upgrades. Like, what beliefs am I ready to upgrade even further?
Yep.
So do you have some?
Well, I was just actually thinking that some people, when they, let's say, you haven't had a child and then you do have a child, that's probably going to cause you to have some amendments because your priorities and the way that you perceive love and then being a protector, that's going to probably add flavors that you haven't had before. A changing of career, the starting of a business, which to me feels like having a child, and then your clients feel like you get to have like grandkids of the business, brings out this whole maternal, I am responsible.
Yes.
So when I was teaching dance as a career, I definitely felt like I took care of my students, but it wasn't like having a business where I'm creating a container for people to live in a really beautiful way. Like the way that we feel in the virtual dojo really feels big.
Does everyone know what the virtual dojo is?
Probably not. It's this imaginary place in the sky.
Virtual dojo, for those of you who don't know, is a place where a lot of our friends and students come together and we work on things like upgrading our why and our mindset, and we work on moving our body so we unblock blockages in the energy system and we move, and Sabrina gives us cool dance choreography for our brains. We dance away the dementia, and we get together several times a week and we have all these really cool replays and things. So that's what the virtual dojo is.
And the conversation, when I said earlier about surrounding yourself with people who are uplifters and bring you up, like when I was teaching dance, I love to dance, but the conversation was about dance. But now to be in the virtual dojo, like my favorite thing to talk about is love and evolution and personal growth and this type of conversation.
We can't
It
stop
really
talking about
lights
it.
me up. And the more I talk about it, the more opens up for me, the more vision that I have of more.
Totally.
And so I that would be, I guess, an amendment for me. Something about tapping into the openness, stepping into being okay, not even being okay, into being a leader.
Mm. That's a
and
beautiful
being able
role
to say
step into.
It was easy for me to say I'm a teacher because I've been a teacher since I was 14, and then it was easy to say I'm a coach, but to say I'm a leader,
To say it and mean it.
to say it and mean it, because if you're going to lead, that means I'm going to be all of those things in my constitution as I lead.
That's something that I think a lot of the coaches and teachers who are part of Satori and that come and resonate here with us, we all get that, right? We want to live in the integrity of walking the talk and catching any hypocrisy that might show up along the way, because we're humans. We all slip. We make mistakes. We shouldn't beat ourselves up for not being perfect, right? It's not possible. We try, right? But to come from a place of love, even in our leadership, and when we fall down and go boom, which we all are going to, lovingly stand back up and go, okay, let me just really look at my tenets, my constitution, and
my amendment,
and make any amendments that are necessary. So I want to ask you if you're aware of any upgrades or amendments that have happened in your life, perhaps this year, where you were saying, I don't believe in that anymore, or I don't stand for that anymore.
Or I choose this now.
I choose this now. One that's happened for me after a recent interview with our friend Lisa Cherney, it's needs some more independence on that camera. One that's coming up for me was she has these really cool commandments that she asks different teachers and coaches to ask themselves. And so I looked at them and I found one that resonated with me, and it had to do with living my truth. And I live my truth. I really believe in what I say, and I do my very best to walk the talk. But sometimes I've noticed in certain circles, I might hold back a little bit. Have you noticed that in yourself? Where, in this area you feel safe, but maybe over here you have an idea that people won't see you or they might judge you. And I'm leaning into the place of not caring about that and caring more what I believe and what I stand for than what I think others think. Now, it's all projection on my part. A lot of people are like so rooting for us that we might think are not, or even against us. And so when you just start speaking your truth full on, the way you would with your closest friends, you find out, first of all, pretty quickly who your real friends are. And secondly, you'd be pretty surprised that a lot of people are in your corner, and it's helpful to invite them in. Yeah. So I'm just learning to invite people in by being myself more on the regular.
Yeah.
True.
Now that you say that, I realize it's so interesting that I said that one of my amendments was to be able to say I'm a leader, because one of the classes that I teach locally, sometimes when I get there, it seems that it's a bonding thing amongst some, these are mainly women, very bonding to have a common thing that you complain and bitch about first thing in the morning. And it might be the weather, it might be the way some TV show turned out, it might be something with Trump, just whatever it is. And it would be real easy to just like jump right in. And in the morning, I want to be so careful, because I know I'm setting up the day of my mindset, and I want to start the day with gratitude, and I don't want to start it with complaints, even if it is really hot and stuffy. I would prefer to meet first thing at 8 a.m. and be grateful for a day, because there'll be a day that I wish I was walking around, no matter if it's hot and stuffy.
Sorry, I'm listening, but there's all these people saying how much they love the virtual dojo.
Well, I want to talk about making mistakes. I have had a really hard time as a child being okay with making mistakes. And that led to some like food issues, eating disorder, nervous stomach. And I think it's just, I was hard on myself. I felt like I had to be really good at things right away. And if I made a mistake, then somehow I had failed. But when I was looking today before we did this, and I was reading about amendments, and I was reading through them, I thought it was really funny. It was like amendment number 18, whatever it was. Let's say it's don't wear shoes. Well, then there was amendment 19, and then 20 was
I think I can
let's
even tell you
reverse
what
don't wear
19
shoes.
is.
So they made they made an amendment, and then 2 amendments later was let's reverse that one.
19 is women get the right to vote.
Oh, let's not reverse that.
Wendy actually wrote that earlier. Thank you for that. Well, see, look, I'm not making it up. That is the 19th Amendment right there. According to Wendy, that's the one.
What was the 20th?
Who knows? There's a very funny person here that says, I look like a dude. Dude look like a lady, man. Awesome. All right. So we're about to go out on date night, and we hope y'all had a good time today. Make those declarations.
Mm-hmm.
Step into your power full on.
From a soft place.
Be the love that you are. And then look for what, yes.
Make those declarations, know what you don't want.
So that you know what you do want.
Okay.
Make those commitments and commandments and that constitution that is your truth. And freaking live it. Walk your talk full on. And then always be ready to make those amendments, those upgrades, right? Because soul guidance is here, and it will let us know when we're ready to evolve. We'll feel a constriction, we'll feel a tightness, we'll feel an offness. That's the beauty of contrast, is it's constantly giving you those insights. And insights might sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? I had a friend who, he had a big upgrade in his life. He was a mentor years ago, herbal medicine, and he was working on a ranch, and he hit his thumb with a hammer, working on nailing in some posts, and didn't think much of it, kept going through his routine. Next day, he actually cut his hand doing some saw work. So are those wake-up calls? Well, it doesn't seem like it. It's just like, be more aware, right? That's the wake-up call. Be more aware. Then, like a week later, he was in his herbal, I don't know what you call it, where you make all your herbs.
Laboratory.
He has a lab, and he's heating oils and herbs, and the oil exploded. Went all over his hand and burnt the same hand that he hit and cut, burnt it all the way down to the bone. And so I remember he shared this with me when I was a younger man. He said, life is giving us these wake-up calls all the time. Are we paying attention? Mm. And not that it always comes in threes, but, sometimes it'll keep coming until we get it. So look in our own lives to see where are those upgrades or those amendments waiting to happen. And contrast will teach you. And there's one other saying, and I've said it before, and I like this one for me because it's something Buddha said. Apparently he said that the noble horse doesn't need to be hurt, doesn't need the whip at all. It runs when it sees the shadow of it. And sometimes that's just catching through mindful awareness the shadow of contrast. Mm-hmm. Enough that you're just like, boom, time to run, time to upgrade. Yep. So be awake, be present as much as you can.
What is
evolve.
The 20th Amendment?
Oh.
Wendy said.
Wendy says, 20 was boring. Just dates about president taking office.
So I'm going to give you an example. I only believe in that which is good. I do not believe that there is any punishment coming to us from God or the universe. I think it reflects back whatever we think it is. So for me, the shadow of the whip, or the noble horse, runs from the shadow of the whip. Well, I'm the noble horse. And maybe at night, one of those 3 a.m. wake-ups where your brain is trying to worry about something. And I know that as soon as I catch myself worrying about, did I input those things right in QuickBooks? Is the bookkeeper going to be able to access them? Did I get them to the CPA? Oh no, did I set that email correctly? Did I put the unsubscribe? As soon as I catch it, I now have a rule that I'm only going to be grateful in those moments that I wake up in the middle of the night and I start thinking, I'm so lucky. I'm such a lucky person. Good things happen to me. and I touch Winston, and I touch Bentley, and I listen to Tristan have that beautiful sound of life.
The sound of life.
And so as soon as I hear any of that worrying, that's the shadow that boom sends me back to gratitude. Because if I gather momentum in those thoughts, I could be up a long time. I'm probably going to get up and get a notebook and start writing stuff down, which isn't the best thing to do at 3 a.m.
True that.
Hey, you know what?
What?
We should tell them if we have currently for the next just few days, we're allowing new members to join us in our virtual dojo. And all the information is at satorimethod.com/dojo.
DOJO.
And it's an incredible invitation. Anyone who joins, new students, gets an entire $147 value home study program like Qigong or Wushin or Happy Healthy Back, your choice.
All kinds of goodies.
And there's fast action bonuses, which are Qigong routines that we haven't even released before. And 3 classes a week. You get a workout, you get a Qigong class, and a mindset. But all of the information's on the page with the cutest little video of us that we shot yesterday.
Very, very cool. Here's your music in case you want to music us out.
Oh, I do.
Thank you all for being part of the show and part of our lives and part of this community and dancing along and all the beautiful sharings that came through. Have an incredible rest of your Thursday or whatever day it is that you're watching this.
Wave that flag.
Where's our flag? Here we go.
That's going to be our screenshot right there. Smile. Put it right there. So you business owners, always do that when you film something.
Yeah, you want to get those good screenshots. All right, gang. Until next time.
And we will go back and read every comment. We so appreciate it.
That's what we do on date night. We both have our little phones or our iPad, and we're like loving y'all and checking out what's coming through. We do. Yeah, we talk.
Thanks for showing up live, and thank you for watching the replay, and thank you for knowing that you want freedom from, so you can have freedom for all that is good.
Oh, beautiful. Much love. Bye.